here. Everyone's sleeping in, I think, and that is a-okay with me. Kimmer, thanks for being first. As always, Kimmer says she's excited for this one. She's gonna make it next weekend. I love when you guys do that, seriously. That is like why I stream, is to give you ideas of what to make and then show you how easy it is. Cookie, how is your weekend going so far? How's your Saturday? Welcome in, yet it is. Good to see you as well. I don't really have any updates for you guys. Oh, actually, sorry, I have one. Samo is staying an extra week at work, so we're not gonna see him till March. Well, you guys won't. So that's my only update for you. We have to miss him a little bit longer, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Okay, I woke up to a really nice sunrise this morning, but now the weather is like so like poopy and gray out. I don't know what happened. I'm glad I caught that first thing, because that made me so happy. Gave me life. Okay, getting into what we're making today. Actually, two like really simple dishes as well. They are both baked in the oven. Can't go wrong with that. Usually you don't have very much dishes when you make stuff like that as well. And I did call it like old school tuna noodle casserole because that is what it is to me. I remember my mom making it when I was young, and I foxed with it hard. I will say that. But she did one thing that is different than the recipe that I think actually makes it so much better. We've talked about this before in some other streams when people talked about tuna casserole. But instead of the breadcrumb topping for like crunchy bits on top, we put crushed up potato chips under the cheese layer. It's effed up. It is so delicious. So I got Ripple plain chips as well as some sour cream and onion chips. Like mix them together and yeah, it's just the greatest. We put some peas in there, some cream of mushroom soup I got on sale this week. And it's such a cheap meal to make, and I think it is good to have as leftovers too. Like I'm planning to eat it as lunches throughout the week. Pretty rounded out dish, and we're gonna make it gluten-free today just by using gluten-free noodles. I'm gonna use rotini. I think for the recipe I linked, here it is. She uses egg noodles, which is also really good because it's a bit more rich. But I'm gonna keep mine gluten-free, doesn't mean you guys have to. And then for a really easy, simple dessert, and because I had frozen berries in the freezer, we're gonna make a little mixed berry crisp. And then to top it, I wanna like have something creamy with it. I was thinking we would mix our vanilla yogurt with a little sour cream for like thickness and tanginess. And then like mix some orange zest in, so we make this like orange or citrus sort of cream to go with the mixed berry crisp. Instead of ice cream or whipped cream, just something different that I have in the house already. Hi Samovar. Tuna casserole, let's go. Estarcy, how are you doing today? Put a whole bag of potato chips in front of Cookie, you almost always finish the whole bag. I will say though, the size of potato chips in the grocery store now are like quite small, right? So it's not even hard to finish a whole bag. Although I will say the only difficult part of finishing a whole bag, I guess it depends on the flavor and like how salty the chips are. That's kind of the only part that makes it hard, right? Your tongue starts to hurt. You're awesome and hungry, Estarcy. I will admit I was just munching on some cashew nuts before stream because I had a little hunger myself. But we gotta make it through this. Hello Matthew, welcome in. You make yours with rotini too? I guess some other pasta options. I think my mom has used bow ties before in it, which is also really good. Maybe penne would be okay. Probably not my first choice. Definitely more of a curly noodle sort of casserole dish. Sodium-free chips. I typically do choose the lower salt version of chips now because yeah, they're so dang salty that whether you're eating them on their own or eating them with a dip or something, you just don't need all that salt. Like I said, it makes your tongue hurt, it makes your mouth hurt. Kind of hilarious. Okay, and then once we have things in the oven and we're kind of waiting around, we do have a little bit of finishing up from yesterday's stream. If you weren't around for yesterday, we did some duck butchery and then cooked a duck dish afterwards with the duck breast. So one thing that we did was make duck stock. So I cooked it all overnight and I just turned it off like maybe an hour ago. And you can't even like see where it is in the pot, right? I really cooked it down. So we can strain that together today. And I said we'll probably save that to make a ramen broth or something coming up. Really like to make that with duck. And then we also saved the duck legs and we'll show you how to cure them today. So you make this mixture of salt and sugar and herbs and spices. And you just like rub that all over the duck legs, let it sit overnight in the fridge. Rinse that off the next day, and you can slowly cook the duck legs until they're like falling apart tender. That's how you make duck confit. So I linked that recipe for you guys too, because I know some of you said you've never made duck confit before. It is so dang easy. So dang easy. That's it. Pretty simple stream, I think. I don't think it'll take us very long. And then also one of the last things on our list, this is for tomorrow for our nachos. We're gonna make black beans, but I bought dried black beans because they're much less expensive and they just stay longer in the pantry. So we just have to soak a little bit of black beans so that we can cook them tomorrow. And we're good. Sounds like it's gonna be a fun one. Hi Amp, how are you? You freeze your stock into cubes, makes it easy to store in the freezer and measure out later. I do like that. I do really like that idea. Another thing I was thinking of, because I have all this extra lemon juice, is you could do that with citrus juices as well, right? Buy your limes and lemons when they're on sale, zest them, juice them, and just keep all that stuff in the freezer if you have space. But often I will just keep my stock, like for example, this is a shrimp stock that we made before on stream. I'll just pour it into this 1 liter container, and that's also easy for me to kind of measure out too, right? Because I know this is 4 cups. That's how I often keep my stuff in the freezer, just to save space, I guess, because it stacks up nice. But I do really like that tip for when you have smaller portions. Use an ice cube tray, especially the silicone ones make it so easy to pop that stuff out. Okay, gonna have a sip of water, we'll make our list, and away we go. What's everyone getting up to today? Just hanging out? Okay, what do I want to do first? That is always the question. I think first we'll start with our dessert, like we always like to start with. That way we can get it baking in the oven because it'll take a little bit of time, and start working on the main course while that's going. It's snowing in Arizona. It's quite warm today. It was really cold overnight, like -21. I found that unbelievable actually. But yeah, it's warming up and I think we're supposed to get about 3 days of snow this week from Monday to Wednesday. Just got back from a hike with your club. That's cool. Stopped off on the way home for snacks. That sounds really fun. Hi, Scoots. Welcome in. It's a virtual heat wave there. Been in your 50s all week. Open the patio door. Re-season your cast iron. You're like, it's spring. It's time. Okay, so our berry crisp. Let's see what they say for that. Usually crisps I find are quite a simple dessert. You can start with either fresh or frozen berries, and then you just have to make the little oat crumble topping and you pop it in the oven to bake. Couldn't be easier. Really good with apples as well, or actually any stone fruit, even peaches, pears, all of the crisps. It feels like you guys got a couple weeks of Arctic weather and now it went straight to spring. That's totally how it feels. Okay, she says, how about a fruity treat? She says on a summer evening, but we'll say on a winter evening, there's not much better than a warm homemade crisp with cold vanilla ice cream. I will say it's probably better in the winter than summer. I usually crave cold desserts in the summer, not warm stuff. But carry on. This mixed berry crisp is the perfect use for those wonderful in-season berries. And then we also know that when we buy frozen fruits and vegetables, those are also picked in their prime ripeness, right? They can't pick those early because it's not going to ripen in the freezer. So those are actually great quality to use when we are in the off season of having berries. They're actually tasting like really good. I've been having them in my yogurt bowl every morning. And the flavor of the berries is so potent that some of them almost taste fake. It was like, whoa, what are they doing to them? Around there, Amp, you're debating whether you're in Fool Spring or Pothole Season. I think both could possibly go hand in hand. Okay, she says you can make the berry crisp with a combination of strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, or raspberries. I think we got all 4 in the bag today. Or you could even just do a singular berry crisp, right? Just strawberry, just blueberry. Another one that's really good, strawberry rhubarb. One of my faves. What's happening, creme delish? Okay, I'm scrolling down. See what we need. I'm just gonna make a small batch of this for myself today. The little batch of the lemon squares that we made last weekend, I still have a couple left of those still. So yeah, I definitely don't have a big sweet tooth. I like have to force myself almost to eat the desserts I make. Just getting some work done. I'm doing good, man. Yeah, feeling full of energy. Excited to get cooking today and eat these tasty things. Kind of a nostalgic stream for me. I don't think the last time I had tuna noodle casserole was probably made by my mom. Hi, Blondie. Blondie, what's the best thing you've eaten recently? Hello, Fortitude 2, welcome in. Are these like a jello dish or a pie? Neither, it's called a casserole. You crazy? Like both of the things we're making today are casseroles. Have you never had a berry crisp? It's just a layer of fruit and then a oat crispy topping that's baked. And then we're making a baked pasta dish. Oh. Well, I never said any words about jello or pie, Amp. But now you got me thinking. Okay, she says prep time 15 minutes, cook time 40, total time 55, about an hour, I would say. Yield 8 servings, so yeah, I'll just make half of it. Let's see the pan. I usually just go look and see the size of the pan that they use. Yeah, 9 by 9. And that's what they made for the lemon squares, and we cut it in half, and it was perfect just in our little singular loaf bread pan. So we're gonna need 2.5 cups of mixed berries, fresh or frozen, and then she sweetens with either honey or maple syrup, which I really liked. A little bit of cornstarch, and this is just to keep things from getting too watery as it bakes. It'll be a little bit more syrupy and saucy, which is important to not forget that one. I mean, it'll still be delicious if you don't put the cornstarch in. Just gives it a bit more body, I suppose. Hello, Michael. How are you doing this Saturday? And then to that, we also add a little bit of orange or lemon zest. She said if you don't like strong citrus flavor, though, you don't have to add it. And also orange or lemon juice, too. Yum. We're using a lot of citrus this weekend. That's good. Gotta use it up so I can buy some more, right? And then for our topping, oats, she does almond flour. I'm just gonna do coconut flour. This is optional if you wanna put more nuts into the topping for textural contrast. That could be good. She says sliced almonds, pistachios, or pecans. And I would say also walnuts could be really delicious in that too. Brown sugar, salt, butter. This is interesting. Yogurt in the crumble. Let me see this. Yes, that is accurate. I've never made a crumble with yogurt in it, but I like that idea to keep it together since we don't have any gluten from flour. This is a cool recipe. Okay, so after this, like I said, we will work on our tuna casserole. Just finished my prep list before we get carried away. And from there, we will prep our duck cure for the legs. Let that sit overnight until tomorrow. And we will strain our stock. And we gotta soak black beans. That's everything on the list. We can't forget. Hello, Walter Melon. Today is the day. Tuna casserole day. It's happening. Let's clear off the board. We can get started. Okay, I'm gonna get our little pan out first. Little baking pan. And I'll slowly grab all the ingredients for us. A chippy topping? You better believe it, dude. I got chippies on sale this week even. I was so happy. Both my tortilla chips were on sale for our nachos tomorrow, as well as I got 2 bags of chippies for $5. I was like, yo, it's a chippy extravaganza. Hey Bonk, it's okay if you're late. Better late than never, I always say. Doesn't matter who you are. What does it mean to be a chippy topping? We're gonna sprinkle crushed up potato chips over the tuna noodle casserole, and then we put cheese on top of that, and then we bake it. That's what it means to be a chippy topping. Okay, I'm gonna take the berries out so they can kind of thaw as we get all the other ingredients. What did I say? 2.5 cups? So yeah, the chippy topping is a contrast to this recipe, which traditionally uses breadcrumbs, which are so dang boring and also have gluten in it, so I shouldn't be having it. Ooh, I like that version as well, Bonk. Crush up tortilla chips. That would also be a great flavor. Okay, there's like so many massive strawberries in this bag. It's like I have to like kind of hold them so I can get the rest of the berries underneath. So basically we're looking to completely cover the bottom of our baking dish, right? Let's see how that looks. Actually, yeah, we can always pour it out after. Maybe like 1 more strawberry. A small one. Amp, you're dirty. And I love that thought. I wonder if crushed up pork rinds would work. Yum, Cookie. I will say frozen cherries are really delicious. I always kind of forget about them. But yeah, this pack of berries, I also got this one on sale from the store. Really good quality, I will say that. I love how excited everyone is for tuna casserole, because I'll tell you, this is like a threat that we give to people at camp. So if like people, our clients are being bad or just bugging us, is we would often say, hey, you better watch yourself. It could be tuna casserole for dinner tomorrow. And then they would just zip it. It's the greatest threat ever. But like, what kind of threat is that? So then one day after like we went the whole 21 days straight of it being perfect, we were like joking. It's like, okay, the last day of the rotation, we're gonna make tuna casserole for you guys. And they're like, honestly, everything else has been good that you made, so it's probably not even gonna be bad, right? That's what I was saying, Bong. I'm pretty sure the last time I had this, my mom made it for me. Okay, I'm just gonna pour this. Actually, we don't need to put it back in here. We'll just put it in a bowl so that we can stir some of the sweetness and the cornstarch and everything together. It's a true threat, Cookie. It was always funny to say, yeah. Wilson, how are you doing today? Just gonna put this to the side so we have more room. Pop up the recipe. Okay, maple syrup we'll do. And the cornstarch. I think we'll add a little bit of vanilla too. Why not? That'd be weird if we didn't. Your dragon, the rain is moving in. Dang. Could be just a nice day to stay cozy then. Okay, so 1/3 cup. Well, just half that. Of our sweetener, either honey or maple syrup, or you could even just do sugar. You're leaving for Florida in the morning? Fun. It's probably gonna taste so good with the maple syrup. I'm just gonna hold on to this measuring cup, I think, for the citrus juice. Okay, let's just do like a little splash of vanilla. You just got rid of your rain bonk. Don't jinx it. Gloomy for you too, Cookie. A homemade brunch. Roasted asparagus, prosciutto, sunny side up eggs. Yes, please. Okay, we need 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. Just gonna kind of eyeball it and then mix it with the same spoon. Oh, I know, Bonk. I know, trust me. I follow quite a few people on Instagram that live in California. In and around it. Mostly like, I would say San Diego sort of area, southern, right? Crazy. Like this one van life couple that I watched, they're trying to make their way to Baja. And they like literally drove through that Category 3 tornado. They're like, we made it through the other side. It's like, holy shit, you guys. Okay, that looks good. It was 1.5 tablespoons, which is actually quite a bit, right? Yeah, flooding, tornadoes, thunderstorms, things that don't usually happen in California. Maybe the flooding. Not tornadoes, though. Mickey. Mickey did a nice hot pot tonight. Nice. What did you put in it? Okay, while I'm over here, I'm gonna grab the ingredients for the crumble if I can remember all of them. No, we need the coconut flour. We need oats. We needed some brown sugar, I am pretty sure they said. Put that there. Oh yeah, don't forget about our citrus things in here. Okay, I'm just gonna mix this right now with the cornstarch and everything. Kind of get it starting to saturate with the liquids. And we'll add our orange stuff to it afterwards. We minced chopped potatoes, mushrooms, gravy, onions in the hot pot. Nice, dude. That sounds so nourishing. Hi, Squidge. It's been crazy down there. We're up for the customers. Woohoo! Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. That's so scary, Bonk. And hi, Palooza. You're getting woken up by rain and hail bouncing off your window. What is going on down there? Yeah, get it macerating, exactly. Okay. We'll need to grab a zester. I'll use my microplane. And we'll probably just juice the orange with our hands again, because there's not really another easy way. It was a good winter warmer, Mickey. It's good to have those couple recipes like that you know to make in the winter. Because you do need to get warmed up sometimes. Okay, I'm just gonna give this orange a little washeroo before we zest it. Often fruits have wax on the outside and it's weird when you zest them. I actually don't have an orange reamer. That is something I need to purchase. I don't want to get a plastic one though. Nor can I get a glass one because those are breakable. So what are we gonna do? Oh, that's the one. Because like when you say hot pot, Mickey, here we often have it as Asian cuisine. But yeah, there's Lancashire hot pot in the UK. Thank you for teaching us that. So I'll probably just zest about a third of this orange. It's quite large and I'm not making a ton of crisp, right? And we're also serving it with some orange cream. So maybe we'll just zest the rest of this, but save it for the cream later. I'll just put it in a little bowl that we'll mix everything together in. You never heard of one of the orange things before? So a reamer is kind of hard to describe. It's where you have your cut open orange and you like press it and twist it on there and there's like this thing that's poking up that looks pretty phallic and you just get all of the juice out like that, and sometimes there's a little strainer around where the juice flows. It's pretty cool. Remember we had one growing up? That was always one of my jobs. That's what it's called. Thanks, Palooza, for posting that. Hi, Greek. You hanging in there? The smell of zesting citrus, too. Kind of just get in a trance, almost. I'll tell you this, when I was doing my practicum for culinary school, I got the most, like, hilarious compliment ever. Is I was helping out when I first started it in the pastry section, and one of their desserts there, it was quite a small restaurant, but they had this citrus curd tart, so you had to zest and juice a lot of citrus fruits, right? So I'm zesting one day, and the chef's just like, I will say, out of anyone that I've had here for a practicum, you're the best zester I've ever seen. I was like, what? Was like, okay. I guess that's pretty handy to know. And that's my story, guys. Put that one on my resume. That's what I'm saying, Cookie. It's like, I'm still not hired, and I'm one of the best zesters out there. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this in the fridge till we need it later. What's that mean exactly, the best zester? So what I was just doing, he just meant that I did it very well. Yeah, he probably thought that too. The best juicer as well. Kind of goes hand in hand. Like, look at this. When we cut into it, so dang juicy. I love these oranges. So it says we need a tablespoon only of juice. So I'm gonna do this smaller side actually of the orange that I cut. And that should be good. And then maybe we'll save this for our cream later as well with the zest. For the topping. Yeah, it is so dark that it almost looking like a blood orange. But I will say blood oranges look very, very dark. Like almost darker than the shirt I'm wearing. Yeah, we learned yesterday that this is a mutant orange, actually. It's not genetically modified. It was naturally crossbred. And they don't know how this orange started to turn red. Just work your hands through. I really try and get as much juice as possible. And this is also the reason why we added all that cornstarch, right? But these flavors all together is gonna be so good. Yeah, we could never know the real truth of it. It's true, Paloozer. Okay, let's get this mixed. Just gonna wipe some of this juice that I sprayed all over. And we'll pour it into the pan, and then we'll mix up our crumble topping. I suppose we should turn on the oven to start heating up. But we're really looking to make sure there's no lumps of the cornstarch in here. That's the most important. And then what I was assuming it was like a 375 Fahrenheit bake time. Let's see. Okay, she says 350, so I'll just go a bit lower. Bam. It is true, Bonk, right? Genetically modified. We've been doing that forever. Think about any time you just take a simple like apple tree graft and put that together, two different varieties. Oh, it's genetically modified now. But yeah, now in these days, what we know as GMO is quite vastly different, right? I'm quite sure there's like some chemicals involved sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, how do you think we got corn? Exactly. Okay, oats. Sugar. Yeah, we're just skipping a few steps. It's more efficient. Okay, half a cup of oats. And then about a quarter cup of coconut flour. I always try and buy these sprouted oats now. It's easier to digest. And then another thing I look for on oats, because it's one of the highest sprayed crops, is the glyphosate free. Because a lot of the oats in the store have the glyphosate in it, and it's like gonna mess up your digestion system. So watch for that too. That's just something I've learned recently. Free glyphosates, yes. Someone's like, I'm buying all of them. Just gonna eyeball this quarter cup, right? It's just half of this. Oh, sorry, there's less sugar than that. The poor piece of sugar bread? What do you mean? It's living its best life. Look how happy it is in there. I think the oldest piece of sugar bread I've ever had, I think was 7 years old. 7-year-old sugar bread. I was thinking of this amount, Greek, at first, because I need a quarter cup of this, and we needed a third cup of the sugar. This is coconut flour, or you can use almond flour. Hello, Mom. Just gonna be lurking? Okay, thank you. Hope you guys have a good day. Did I eat the piece of sugar bread? No. Hello, Lilypad. Lilypad would like one food, please. Okay, make your way over and you can have the one food. Okay, what's next? Some salt, butter, and yogurt. And guys, do we want to put any walnut in the topping for extra crunch? We gotta pump those numbers up. Good one, Bonk. I'm just happy when people stop by. Love our little internet group that we get to hang out with every weekend. Toasted pecans? I don't have any pecans. That's why I didn't give you the option. I think we'll just leave it plain. Okay, boom. Get our yogurt, which is so interesting to me. I'm going through this phase of where I just don't buy anything that I run out of until I use up everything else first. I'm like so particular of how I grocery shop now. That's what happens when you're poor. That's what happens when you don't have a job, guys. Actually curious how long you've been around. Let's see, Lily. 3 years? Yeah, flex. Okay, how much butter? Only 2 tablespoons? And they actually say to melt it. Well, that's easy. Love it. You need to go to the market. Are you gonna plan to go today, Bonk? Just get a little container for melting. That looks close to 2 tablespoons. Nice. Thanks, Mom, for the 46 months in a row. You're almost at 4 years, too. Oh, God, the store on a weekend? I can't even imagine what it's like. I'm the person that's at the store when they open or like waiting 5 minutes before. I have this rule for myself on like errands day that I have to be finished all my errands before noon. Because otherwise it's so crazy out. It takes you forever to get anywhere or do anything. And I don't like waiting on humans. Sounds good, creme delish. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Cookie, you're gonna go to the store tomorrow. Oh yeah, during the Super Bowl. I like that idea, actually. Because everyone should be just too focused on the TV to even think about going to the store. There you go. Okay, that is also true. I'm definitely, Samovar, one of the youngest people in the store when I show up, when it opens. It's me and all the retired folk. And honestly, it's fine. Melt the butter. We'll do 20 seconds. We need a sprinkle of salt. I like that. Balance out all the flavors. It's not melted yet. Okay, and then how much yogurt? A tablespoon and a half? She said if you don't want to add the yogurt, just add more butter instead. Hello, DPH. use a big spoon for this too, and then we can just mix this all up together. A little bit more. Looks good. Yeah, that is totally the one. There's this trend of like, yeah, parents taking the whole family shopping. That was never a thing before. It's like my mom and I went shopping, that's it. Like half the time she had to force me to go with her, right? But what is that the thing? It's like the only thing they do is go out to the grocery store together? I don't know. I'm not trying to judge people that have kids either that do that. We're just seriously interested. I guess it could be fun for the kids to pick different foods and stuff like that that they could want to eat. But a lot of the times it seems like they're too young to even be able to do that, right? You're sitting there eating tater tots smothered in chili and shredded cheese. There is nothing wrong with that. I would drop everything I have right now and I would eat that with you. That's hilarious, Paloozer. Okay, we're melted finally. That seemed like actually a lot of butter, so we might have to add extra coconut flour. Let's see. Let us see. If it turns into a crumble, we're okay. If it's like really wet, then we're not okay. I might add just a little bit more coconut flour to this. I think this is actually gonna turn out so good. Did someone say tots, right? It's never a bad time for tots. Just a little sprink. Soak it up. That looks good. Now you can distribute that in nice lumps on top of the crisp. That sounds so toxic, Paloozer. I can understand why you wouldn't want to go to the store with your mom. Okay, we got our berries, cornstarch. What else? Maple syrup, orange zest, and orange juice. Spread that out. Usually I try to distribute the berries evenly, like don't keep all the strawberries in one corner together. It looks pretty juicy right now, but I'll tell you, when this starts baking, that's gonna get so good and saucy. Okay. One even layer. Crisp is the easy version of making a pie. Crisp is the lazy version, let's say, actually. It's not the easy version, it's like the lazy version. When you don't want to take the time to make pie dough and stuff, but you still want kind of the same homey flavors and feelings, just make crisp. Like how this hardened as the butter cooled, so I was able to distribute it. Crisp is also okay as a breakfast if you make it healthy enough. Your husband's side of the family's from Sweden. They have an amazing berry called lingonberry. Yeah. What, often we have to, if we have the Swedish meatballs, you have it with the lingonberry jam. We can get it at IKEA. That's about the only place I know that lingonberry exists in Canada. Other than maybe like a specialty German market or something like that. It's like a very tart berry. What, could we say it's kind of similar to black currant? Whoa, the door is open, wait. Yes, a rhubarb cobbler with mint. What part of the mint? Like, where did you put the mint into that? Into it fully, like in the rhubarb part? Or did you just put mint afterwards? And I will say I really like big, crisp pieces. You can only find it at IKEA, Lilypad. Yeah. Kind of funny how that's the only place. And another thing, actually, that I found at IKEA, which is hard to find here, is the cloudberry preserves as well. That is so dang good. Yeah, you need the crisp exactly as a contrast texture to the soft berries when they start getting cooked. All right, shall we pop this in the oven, guys? And I will set, what does it say? Usually these bake for at least 30 minutes. This says 40 to 50 for a double portion. So why don't we set a 20-minute timer and then go from there? You put the mint in with the rhubarb. Nom, that'd be so refreshing. Sounds great, Cookie. Your new walking pad got here, switched it out to a longer one. Oh, you felt like you didn't have like full enough strides? Yeah, 17 minutes, 28 seconds. Or it's ruined on the timer. Okay, while we're waiting, should we quickly make up the orange cream, which I totally didn't even put on the list by accident? Because I think that something like this would get better if it has a bit of time to sit. We can cross off the berry crisp. First hard part of the day is complete. I'm just gonna get a little bit of water real quick before we start our next set. You guys should too. You were too tall for that walking pad. Noted, Scooter is a tall human. Nice, Dad. Thanks to my real life dad for subscribing for 67 months in a row. That's one of the longest subs still in the channel. So cheers to you. Also a lucky human that's gotten to eat a lot of our meals over the years. What's today's menu, boss man? We're making 2 different casseroles today. We just got our dessert sort of casserole in the oven, a berry crisp. And we are also making a baked pasta casserole as well, which we will be starting on momentarily. Hello, Hassan for life. And Brick Lane, thank you very much for the 1 bitly. Hope you're good. Okay, back to this stuff. I'll just pop the orange in there with the zest. And then because I want it thick and my yogurt is not a Greek yogurt, but it is a really delicious organic grass-fed one, I'm gonna mix this with sour cream, and that's not gonna be weird. Some of you may think it's weird, but that's okay. We'll add the orange juice at the end. Oh no! Just got fired from work? What the heck? There's some very interesting things going on in the job market, I would say. It's tough out there. I'm like sorry to hear that for you, but I always like to just do a little pivot off of that thought and be like, well, on to the next big thing, right? I'm gonna make enough of this so that we have as much as we need for all of the crisp portions for garnish. I'll just keep it in the fridge. Thinking half and... no, not half and half. Let's do 2/3 to 1/3 sour cream, or sorry, yogurt to sour cream. Let's start with that. Crisp cream, if you will. You've been fired once. I've actually never been fired, because I usually leave before I get to the point where I'm so miserable that I am getting fired. I save myself the horror. But sometimes it just happens, right? You have no control over it. Stir this up because it's so dang thick. Can you see that? You've been laid off a couple times though, Bonk. But yeah, never like, you're fired. I've still always just left a job before they make me leave. Well, there you go, Brick Lane. See? The work sucks and the boss is an a-hole, so that's like a blessing for you then. Yeah, there's always a lot of emotions and stuff that come up in that moment where you're like getting told that, right? But then, like Samovar said, sometimes you get home and you realize, you know what? I didn't even want to be there anyways. I'm gonna mix this to see how thick it gets. Nice, look at the color just now. Mixing the zest in, starting to turn orange. We might not even need the orange juice. This might add enough orange flavor. We might just need a bit extra sweetness. But you guys know I don't like anything too sweet dessert-wise, so this could be perfect actually. Sambro? No, that wasn't him. That's Wayne. Sambro's at work. You guys aren't gonna see him till March. Mmm. What the heck? That tastes like an orange sherbet. Straight up. I'm not adding nothing else to that. That is seriously so good. I want to just stick that in the freezer and then eat it. Okay, I'm gonna pack this up. You're Hassan? Oh, I remember you. It's true. March seems far away, but it's a couple weeks. I know. I get older soon. It's coming quick. Hey, that's what it looks like, chat. See all the yummy orange zest flecks in there? Pop it in the fridge. Send your regards to Samo. I will. He's also working nights right now. So it's just like a whole thing, honestly. Okay, 2 things off of the list. I'm quite dark when I think about those things, Bonk. Bonk says, you get older every day. We humans just acknowledge it on our birthdays. Yeah, I always typically say is like, we are dying every second. That's why you have to live your best life. Whatever that means. Yep, 6 years, baby. That's how long we've been here on Twitch. Isn't that nuts? Hi, White Dove. How are you doing? Yeah, nights on top of working an extra week. I mean, he asked to work that extra week, right? So don't worry, guys. It's all good. Okay, looking into our tuna noodle casserole recipe now. If you guys are just popping in or missed it earlier when we posted them, here are the links. Hello, Ciaron. Just sat down. Ugh, we're dying every second. We're having an interesting conversation. It is something to always keep in mind though, right? Okay, easy tuna noodle casserole. Yeah, Sam and I, we've actually talked about that. Is why do we celebrate our birthday after the whole year is passed? When really we've actually lived an entire year already. So we're actually 1 year older than we are. If you think about that, right? Now we just confused everyone. Let's make tuna casserole. Okay, this is what they say. This dish is right up there with meatloaf and scalloped potatoes when it comes to comfort food. It's been a family favorite for generations. I know my mom's lurking in here. I don't know if she's around, but I want to say, Mom, when was the last time we had tuna casserole? I can't remember. You made a chimkin casserole the other day and it was good, Scoots? Yeah, you could always switch out that option. I mean, tuna is the cheapest one out there. I will say I try to buy higher quality canned tuna if you can afford it. Because you will taste a difference, I think. That's what I'm saying, Wait, last time I had this dish, I was a kid. So flaky tuna is tossed with egg noodles. We're gonna use a gluten-free rotini today. Peas, celery, and mushroom soup. And then, nice, scats in here. With the best resub. 69, tier 3. Greatest day ever. Scat, how are you doing, dude? We missed you. 69 months though, I thought my dad's was long at 67, right? Oh, what? My dad's saying they made tuna casserole not long ago with the lentil noodles. Because my dad has diabetes, so he has to eat a lot more healthy. Nice, Scoots. Took chicken breast, boiled them, shredded them. You could also just pick up a rotisserie chicken from the store, pick all your already cooked meat off. Do that effortless. Welcome in, Katniss. Good to see you. Okay, the crew's all together. We're ready. Yeah, for regular tuna, you can get it quite cheap. I think the cheapest sale I've seen recently was it 4 cans or 3 cans for $4 or something? Pretty nuts. Katniss says, I love casseroles as a genre though. As do I, especially in the winter, right? Okay, so they say they top it with breadcrumbs and cheese. I don't even know actually if they add cheese onto the top of this. But how we grew up here in Canada, I don't know if you've had this similar in other places in the world, but my mom would top it with crushed up Ripple chips and then cheese on top of that and bake it. And I would be that sick kid that would just take the entire layer of chips and cheese off and then save that to eat at the end. Scat, you can't stay but wanted to stop in. Well, I appreciate you for that sub, dude. Our only tier 3, so shout out to you for being an amazing human. Tuna croquettes. I can't say I've had that one, but it's probably yummy. And then Bonk says, question, are we using tuna in spring water or tuna in oil? I have tuna in water today, but I did see they just brought in at the store. They've been slowly expanding the European section. They just brought in the jars of the Calipo tuna in oil. I can't wait to pick those up. But yeah, we're just using a bit of a less expensive tuna than that today. Welcome in, Chris. Good to see you. Hope your work week went good. You still do it as an adult, Scoots. Just take off the best layer ever. Kind of like a lasagna, right? Some people take off that top layer of cheese. And also the chips are gluten-free. Mind you, keep in mind what kind of chips you have, because I will say there was a variety of barbecue chips that I had recently where they added barley malt into the flavorings. And I was like, well, that's not gluten-free. So not all potato chips are gluten-free anymore. Interesting. There's some pre-made flavored tuna in plastic containers. That's amazing. They sell in Walmart. I've also seen those like vacuum sealed pouches. There's so many different varieties of tuna to buy. The tuna in oil for this dish, that's true, Bonk. Probably not the best, right? It would almost get too oily and fatty. And yeah, it's easier to drain out the water from the can. Okay, scrolling down still. We have a lot to say today about this tuna noodle casserole. Canned curry tuna is delicious. I don't know if I've ever had a curry flavor, but here in North America, we could also get flavored little tuna tins, which Katniss said like she can put on salad or have with crackers. That's really popular. So they say this. The best part of this tuna casserole is that it takes minimal effort to put together, and once it's in the oven, you can toss a simple Caesar salad together or another side dish to round out the meal. I'm not gonna make anything else today. I'm okay because I have so much veggies to use up in the fridge on my own time. But yeah, we just simply combine all the ingredients together while the noodles are still warm. Mix it all. Pop it in the casserole dish, top it with your 2 garnishes, and into the oven. Oh, I love that. That's so cute. When you're straining your canned tuna, friends, don't put the water down the sink. You give it to a kitty. Give it to the kitties. I do remember when we had a cat pet growing up that every time you open a can of tuna, they were right there with you. So this is a really important note for any baked pasta dishes is we want to keep those noodles al dente when we cook them first, so that when we go to bake this in the oven, they don't go soggy and mushy on us. Yeah, we have a spicy sort of Thai style one here that looks good. I would try it. She says, we use simple veggies in here, onion, celery, and peas, but you could also use green beans, roasted carrots, or broccoli. I don't think I would mess with a good thing though. I would keep the celery, onion, and peas just like that. Says, you can also make the whole casserole up ahead of time and then just have it ready in the fridge, like when you get home from work, pop it in the oven, good to go. Do they use a square baking dish? I'm trying to see. Who measures baking dishes like this? A 2-quart? Why can't you just measure it in measurements? But I'm assuming it's gonna be a rectangular sort of baking dish. Or, actually the other one I was thinking is just bake it in a cast iron pan in the oven. So dang easy. I don't know how much we're gonna end up with today, but I usually only like to make my own self about max 4 portions of something until I'm sick of eating it throughout the week. Like a 6x9, or even just like a 9x9, because on the recipe they're showing a square dish. So probably this should be good. Mix everything else up. Pop it in there. Because I don't have square pans, I got rid of my Pyrex. Yes, yeah, tuna salad, onion, celery, dill, garlic. And not too mayo-y, that's true. I hate when it's like gross and watery and soggy. No thank you. Okay, so what's our first step here? Probably to get some water on for the noodles. And then like they said, we just prepare everything else while we're waiting. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. I was feeling fancy today and I had a bit of extra time this morning. Pop some braids in there. Yeah, all the tuna casseroles you've ever had have been in square, rectangular, either Pyrex or what is the white porcelain dishes called? Because that's what we had growing up. My mom would make it in those ones. Casserole? Is that the word? I think that's the word. So let's get our pot, boiling pot filled with water, which is currently clean in the dishwasher. That's not the lid I need. Casserole? Corningware, that's the word. Good one, Timmers. It's 1.8 liters, Greek. Well, that should actually be perfect then. I also thought it would look really good in there too. I mean, it is kind of nice when you make a casserole in a glass dish to see through all the crazy bubbles around the edges. But if you don't have it, well then use something else. Okay, so we always make sure our water tastes like the sea. Salt that water. Corningware is great stuff. Probably lasts forever, I would say. And it's often something that gets handed down, I feel, through generations. Okay, that was our 20-minute timer for the crisp to check. Just add a good couple pinches of salt into this water first, and then we'll see how that is baking along. Right, we had the like nesting sort of square, shallow Corningware, and then we also had the round ones too. That's when casseroles were really popular still. We gotta bring them back. Okay, the crisp is bubbling and it smells phenomenal in the oven. So I'm gonna do another 15 minutes and that's probably gonna be perfect. Yes, good one, Cookie. Use the round dishes for reheating leftovers in the oven because a lot of people are starting to get rid of their microwaves. And Bricklane's saying they also make plateware too. And it's lasted for ages, yeah. It's good stuff. All that stuff made back then was good, I feel. Okay, next up, let's grab our onion, celery. We'll bring out our peas. Let me see if we have to quickly blanch the peas first. But I'm thinking the peas will cook in the casserole, even if we add them a little bit cold, right? don't want mushy peas. Just says 2/3 of a cup of frozen peas defrosted. That's it. Hello, Mish. How are you doing? Okay. First things first, get a bowl that we can mix everything together in. And then also, I suppose we should measure out our pasta noodles that we're gonna use. Yeah, there is no feta today, so good one, Greek. Let's get all of these ingredients. Our soup. Our tuna. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 cans, so I'll bring 2. And the pasta I'm using, I think, is, yeah, chickpeas and brown rice. So that's the pasta we're using today. Very nice. How much of that do we need? 3 cups? Now, is that measurement, the noodles already cooked, I'm assuming? I hate when they do that in a recipe. Yes, that is also what I used to do, Brick Lane. When you make casseroles and pies, use disposable aluminum so you could share it with your friends. Grab a container to measure those in. Okay, so if they're saying 3 cups of cooked noodles, should we measure out 1.5 cups of not? Rummo rhymes with Samo? Yeah. I mean, it's okay to have extra, but it's definitely okay to not have enough. You like what I did there, Bob? I actually don't know if Rummo makes egg noodles, but I thought this would be yummy in the tuna casserole dish today as a little gluten-free option for all of us. So we'll just put that by the water pot. And now, pick this up. It was on sale at the store. Nothing crazy. I didn't even buy Campbell's because I actually find that the no-name brands are better now than some of the actual name brands. And then this is our tuna. I did buy this on sale. There was a lot of tunas actually on sale at the same time, but I do look for pole and line caught. You look for the solid white tuna. You don't want it flaked, so you get that nice solid piece of fish in there. And then it's in water, so like Bonk said, it's easy to strain out. I find this is a nice quality and not super expensive. And it's also, I want to show this. It says albacore. So that's the same tuna that we were able to get when we were on Vancouver Island, and we got it in fresh and learned how to fillet it and stuff. So I know that variety of tuna is actually really nice and it tastes good. A very cheap variety of tuna is skipjack. So if you see that on the can, that's not the best, but if that's what you can afford, use it, right? And I was saying, growing up, I've also had this dish made with bow tie pasta. Rotini is good too. But I think egg noodles, if you can have them, would be the best and adds extra richness and nutrients, right? I'm just seeing how many cans of tuna we need. Just says 1 can. Just put this other one to this side. So we can open this stuff up and get it into the bowl in a bit, but I think we'll start with our veggies. Hi Valk, welcome in. You use rotini for meat sauce too? It's a good noodle that really holds on to saucy stuff, right? I'm gonna go with green onion in here rather than a white onion. And notice how nothing is cooked ahead of time for this. So that's actually why I chose the green onion, because I don't like crunchy white onion, and I don't like really white onion if it's not sauteed, other than when it's in a salsa. Probably only need that one celery stalk. Am I a celery person? I could be a celery person. I'm not as much of a celery person because my other half is not a celery person. So I find I don't eat it too often anymore. I ate it a lot when I was young. The plastic utensil for tuna looks like a mini strainer, but it's size for the can. Cool. Hi Torino, how are you? Just trim this up. I actually hate straining tuna, right? Because you always just smell so fishy after. Yeah, I often have, for snacking veggies in the fridge, I'll always have tomato, cucumber, and peppers. I'm doing good, Valk. Thanks for asking. We got our crumble is almost done. Coming out of the oven, and then we're slowly working on our casserole. So we will cut this nice and small though. We don't want really big chunks of celery in there. Practice a bit of knife skills. How are you guys this weekend? Doing good? And we could also say the same way I'm preparing the celery and onion is you could do that the same for if you're just making a tuna salad, not a casserole. What? You've been eating hospital food all week? Are you okay? Of course you should be watching this. This gives you life. Don't even say that. Thank you, Bricklane, for the 2 bitlies. Yo, where was my alert? Hello, Stream Elements? I got all my sounds on. Yellow? Interesting. Okay, Bricklane, you take care of yourself. Thanks for stopping by today. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Hey, Cookie. It's like, why is hospital food not the best food that you can get, right? It should be the best food out there. You're bringing people back to life. Deciding on triple bypass or stents. Oh my gosh, dude. Well, I hope everything goes okay. I suppose that it's plain to control sodium levels. Because, yeah, I guess a lot of people are in there because maybe they can't feed themselves properly. Hello, EHPZ. Things are good. I hope the same for you. Wipe that onion flavor off of the board. Water is almost up. But you can still make good food and not have it super salty though. Right? You know what I'm saying? You can still prepare it really well, and then they can season it afterwards. Just gotta work 3 hours and then you have a few days off. Nice. You're almost there, Michael. Okay, I'm just seeing if we need anything else. It looks like we butter the noodles when they come out of the pot so they don't stick together. I like this option. Let's get a little nub of butter out. For that, we'll just stir it together in the pot. What? Had his relatives bring him KFC in the hospital? Such a good treat. I remember when we would do that for some grandparents, I think. Did we ever do that? I don't know. We'll save it, Katniss, to look at it later. Okay, there's our butter nub. Buttered Noodles is your middle name. Imagine if we actually changed our names to the names we say we would. We need to do more of that. Hello, my name is Kate Buttered Noodles Omdal. Like, whatever, why are you judging me right now? Okay, just getting a can opener. You sent your husband a link for an ottoman that converts into a guest bed? Let's go. Okay, we need... Wait, I don't even know if I have enough mushroom soup. I don't measure in these amounts. 10.5 ounces of mushroom soup? Mickey, you just finished watching film Netflix. Wait, what did you watch? Our pasta water's already up. I feel like we just put it on. Ah. She's really about to blow. Okay, let's go over. It's called The Young Royals. Did you like it? Would you suggest someone else to watch it? What does it say for cooking time on the bag? 9 to 10 minuties. I got 30 seconds on my timer. That's kind of perfect, actually. So I usually set actually a less timer than that. I'll go 7 or 8 minutes. Should not take long to cook though. Okay, come back over while we're waiting. That was the smallest amount of news. We're just watching the recipe and following it. Because you gotta think pasta's gonna like blow up, right? It's just me. Okay, we're gonna scoop our soup. We need a little bit of milk in the mixture. I think just so it doesn't get too dry. You got the Super Bowl on TV already? In what world? I haven't used something like this in also 5 billion years. It was a really weird feeling, I have to say, buying this in the store. The mushroom soup. You guys know over the years, we've always tried to make everything from scratch as much as possible. But now in this economy, not everything can be done that way anymore. So yeah, buying some things pre-made actually, unfortunately, save you money now. Gonna give these another stir. Okay, I often open the tuna can like on the sink or by the sink because I don't like when the juices go on my wooden board. So I'll just do that on the side. Cream of mushroom soup is a kitchen standard. It kind of is, right? Okay, we're opened. And then I don't open it all the way. So there's a little hinge on the tin where you can press and squeeze out the water. Like that's all I do. My little hinge is there, and then we can just open it, take the tuna out afterwards. Where's my knife? So this is what I was talking about when it says whole tuna. What did it say? Solid. This is what you get when you buy solid tuna. Compared to flaked, I feel like you get less actual usable protein meat. Because it's like really small pieces swimming in the water, and some of them like fall out when you drain it. But I think that looks so good. Like it's almost a steak. Like if you've ever had a salmon steak. We'll scrape all of that out. Just wipe this off. Clean it up. Them nasty juices that we were saying, if you got kitties, give them the tuna juice. I should have saved this for my friend's cats that I'm gonna go see coming up this week. Since Samo's not home, guys, I have decided to do a Galentine's Day with my best friend that lives here now. She just moved here last month. And also her fiance is not here yet either. He's driving over. I was like, we're having a date. Just kind of mix this up. Michael. Sometimes I don't pay attention to how I say things. I like how you say it's swimming in water, Kate. Everything swims in water, Kate. Good one. I feel like this almost isn't enough tuna, guys. I almost want to put another can. Maybe it looks okay now. More? Right? I think we need more protein. Let's do it. It looks light. There's nothing worse than eating a meal and then being hungry an hour later again. That's because you didn't have enough protein. Right? It's too soupy. It would be gross. We're teaching everyone. Professional tuna casserole making. Mickey, you're starting to notice you're getting more sunlight. I will say that. What did they say? By the end of this month, the sun will be setting at 7 p.m., I think. So we just gotta make it through the month, guys. Okay, we're taking a little break from our tuna. We're gonna check on our crisp. I'm assuming it is done. I warmed it up in here today. Oh my gosh, that looks phenomenal. I actually love the way it looks right now. Let me fix my cloth so I can show you guys. The crisp kind of melted into the berries, but I think that looks so dang good. Oh, and it's not like soupy at all. So I'll just pop that on the side. Let's use the word jammy. When the juices start to look jammy, that's when you know it's done. Okay, also the timer on the noodles is going off. Remember, I set it a couple minutes early, but you never know, right? We are looking for al dente, not soggy. Crisps are so good. I know, I just made one for you recently, right, Katniss? The apple? Okay, a little bit of a bite still. Did you guys see the give that it had? But we're close. Have a good day, Kat. It was good to see you. Take care. Okay, so a couple more minutes on that still. While we're waiting, what else goes into here? Oh yeah, a little bit of milk. We need our peas. Are Canadians into the NFL Super Bowl as you are in the States? I think it really depends on the Canadian that you talk to. Because I am just not really a sports watcher in general, other than F1. But I do know a lot of people that are really into NFL. It says a 1/3 cup of milk, so just a splash. The crisp smells so good. It's cooling. Our peas, 2/3 of a cup. They say defrosted, but I think by the time we have everything mixed together, that will be what they are. You're planning to go somewhere to watch it, Bonk? You gonna go with a couple friends? Just gonna measure out 2/3 in this 1 cup measure. And then let's go check, our pasta noodles again. So be careful, sometimes the peas are all stuck together and you go to pour it out of the bag and then all of them come out of the bag. It happens. What happens when you spill the peas, chat? What happens? Oh man, pizza places tomorrow. That's when they make all of their money. I think we need a little bit more still. Just carefully. You're just watching it at your house, Scooter? I wasn't planning on going anywhere. Okay, if you see weird pea shell pieces, take that out. That's not allowed. I'm gonna assume this is good. Yeah, the peas are trying to escape. That is perfect. There's like a little bit of bite on the pasta still, but it's not so crunchy that it's sticking to your teeth. And to me, that is perfect. I'm just gonna strain it quickly here. Don't want to leave it in that water, it'll keep cooking. And then we're also going to turn up the oven temp now for the casserole. Okay, really quick. If you remember correctly, Bonk, Super Bowl Sunday and Thanksgiving Eve are the 2 busiest pizza days. There's our noodles. Gonna add a little bit of richness and keep them from sticking together. Honestly, I'm just gonna use this same spoon because it's all going in the same spot. I've also never used this chickpea brown rice pasta before, but I like the flavor of it and the texture. That's been one thing that's difficult, is the textural thing of everything that's gluten-free. We'll just let that melt in. I don't think those noodles are gonna stick now. So just put that on the side. Gonna pop these peas back in the freezer. Daylight savings time is on March 10th. That's coming quick too. I would say we probably need some seasoning in here, but maybe we should add that once it's all mixed together, right? Because I don't know how salty that condensed mushroom soup is, but I will start with a bit of pepper. Yeah, it looks good, hey Cookie? Like I said, the flavor is good. You wouldn't even know it's chickpea. Okay, we don't have our noodles. We got the butter, green onion, celery, peas, tuna, mushroom soup, milk. We just need to grate some cheddar cheese and crumble up our chippies. We're really close then. And then this bakes. It says 18 to 20 minutes or until it's bubbling. And I think it doesn't take very long. Hey, nice. Thanks, Playa Hater. Thank you for the $5 tip to our groceries for next week. They say, I've been looking for a cool casserole recipe. I think I'll try this one because it has tuna. Okay, so what was I saying before this? Something about it being easy. Oh, I find that it bakes really quick when you add the hot noodles to this mixture and then quickly pop it in the oven. You don't have to be waiting like 30 minutes. Okay, is it ready yet, right? So heck it. We're gonna add them in there. The butter's all melted now. Just give it one last swirl. Looks like a pretty good ratio. Maybe could have went with the full 2 cups of pasta. But I think it was really good that we added that extra can of tuna, for sure. It's looking healthy, I have to say. Ah, don't do that. So we'll taste it now because it might need a little bit of salt. Let's see. Michael's back. Have I tried red lentil pasta? I haven't. It actually tastes exactly like I remember. Okay, we can do a touch of salt, but it really doesn't need much, I will say that. That's funny you say that, Greek, because I was saying as I was making this that I don't like to make more than 4 portions of food for myself, because I find that after I eat it the 4th time I get sick of it, right? Garlic. That would be really good too, Bonk, with the tuna. Yum. Well, we're adding sour cream and onion chippy, so I don't want to go too crazy with all the flavors. Okay, just put that to this side. Grab our cheese. I have an aged cheddar today, so it should add some good funky flavor. Cookie says you would eat it just like that. You could. You could, I guess. Why not? So just enough cheese to cover. I think I'll just grate off of the whole block. I'll just hold on to the plastic. But yeah, this is probably one of the most inexpensive casseroles out there. As far as being a complete meal. Another one that is similar to make, let's say, but a little different with chicken, is a broccoli, chicken, and wild rice casserole that kind of has the same ingredients. Where you can use, instead of a mushroom soup, I mean, you could use the mushroom soup, but just buy a cream of broccoli soup to mix in instead. It's like a same but different sort of thing. But that one was always yummy too, and one of my faves. One casserole that I've had before, but it doesn't have protein in it, is a frozen hash brown casserole that has mushroom soup and stuff like that in it. And it's pretty good. You cover it in cheese and bake it. So there's a lot of casseroles that have similar ingredients. You just switch out a couple things and then it's something different again. I do have some parsley so we can make it a bit fancy. They did list that in the recipe, so we might as well use it. That's how I felt too, right? That's why we always just used it as a threat instead of actually making the tuna casserole as an adult. And well, you guys know, haven't really been working much, so I've been trying to eat less expensive foods. I was like, I think it's time. And I know it's something that Sam wouldn't choose to eat. He's not a big canned tuna guy. I was like, I'll make it when he's gone. Why the heck not? Okay, it's chippy time. I got two different chips in mind for this, but you don't have to do this. I would say this is the best option as far as texture-wise. So Ripple potato chips, and I just got them less salty. And then the other one for flavoring are sour cream and onion. They're like the best of both worlds. But that means when I open these bags of chips, I'm gonna have to eat them up. I have an issue with that sometimes. All right. It's time to assemble. Almost would have been smart to like preheat this cast iron pan. But I don't think it'll take too long to get it heated in the oven. I am gonna do a mix of both chips, Bonk. They were 2 for $5. So I just picked 2 chip flavors that I thought would go good together for the dish. And then, now that I have sour cream in the house, I'll be using up those Ripple chips by making a old school like onion soup dip. So I've also been craving that lately. So just spread this into one layer. That actually looks really good. Okay, we are going to do the chips first. Yeah, you need the crispy bits. I'm just gonna use my hands, just take them out and crumble them over it. A couple more of these. It honestly takes it to the next level. Yeah, you can't skip this part. Breadcrumbs are so boring. I will say though, why have I never tried this when I've made mac and cheese? Like, what is wrong with me now? Right? It's always, oh, do the breadcrumbs on the mac and cheese. Why have we never put potato chips? I've seen the Cheeto mac and cheese topping. Yeah, I will say all the times that I've done the breadcrumb topping, I'd rather have the with just cheese and no crumbs. Okay, so our sour cream and onion ones aren't ripple. They're a little bit easier to crush fine. Basically cover the whole top of it. That looks really, really good to me. Now it's cheese and parsley and into the oven. And while that's going, we will strain our duck stock. But we probably won't, and I'll probably just eat crisp. We'll probably have a crisp break while this is baking. It doesn't happen often on stream, but every now and then we have dessert before dinner. I know, I was thinking that. Oh man, we found a pea. Just chilling on the knife. Get in there. What are you doing? That's where the other one went. It really did escape. I was just thinking, Bonk, what if it was mandatory to have, like, dessert was the first course and dinner was second? Imagine if that was the world we lived in. You've never had it with cheese on top? Yeah, the pea was sunbathing. I don't know, I've always had it with cheese on top. Okay, let's plop it in the oven, it's time. Well, yeah, I was starting to wonder, is that only an American thing to not have cheese? But I don't think so. We almost forgot the parsley. Okay, I sprinkled it for greenery. Shall I do 10 minutes, I think? I'm gonna take a really quick bathroom break. Don't go anywhere. we're back. Ooh, water, that does sound great. Cheers, friends. Stay hydrated. Okay, we got 10 minutes to do stuff. This is what I was thinking, the master plan. Is when the casserole comes out of the oven, we'll pop the crisp back in while we're plating and eating, so it can kind of re-warm. And then we'll eat the crisp warmed with our dollop of orange cream on top at the end of our meal. So we will focus on the duck. You're hydrating with coffee. I haven't had a coffee since Tuesday. And it's life-changing, I will tell you this. It's so difficult the first 2 days not drinking it. But look at me now. Electrolytes are so yummy. Wayne's addicted. Right, Wayne?
Yep.
It's easy to get addicted to the electrolyte powders. It's the sugar. It's drinking the sugar water. There's something about it. It just changes your life. Okay, pack up a couple things too. Close up the chips. We don't want those to get stale. You guys have chip clips? They work pretty dang good. That was a quick ad, nice. The one you just had for electrolytes uses stevia. It's LMNT and super salty. Yeah, that's key. I usually just kind of mix up my own little electrolyte with just a couple pinches of sea salt and some lemon juice. Seems to do the trick, honestly. It's so refreshing to drink that, I find, after exercising. I don't know why, I just like chug it. It's like, holy smokes. Okay, do I even have anything to strain the duck stock into right now? I think it'll fit in this one pot. Might be close. Might be risky business, but let's do it. You have the better chip clips, the binder ones, courtesy of the federal government. You would. Because you guys haven't seen this stock yet either. And we need to. Yeah, shh, quiet. Don't tell anyone. So this is what I cooked it down to. It's less than half in the pot, and I just kept adding liquid over the last 24 hours. I topped it up completely full this morning when I was up around 7, I think. And then I turned up the pot to medium heat to really get it simmering down. And then, yeah, I cooked it down to 1/3, and now we can strain it. And yesterday, after stream, as I was cleaning up, I skimmed that amount of fat off of the top of the pot. Because I find it's better to skim the fat off early rather than to let it cook on top of the stock. It gets a weird flavor. Like, it gets too overcooked. Yeah, we first skimmed the scum on stream, and then we just let that go. And then after stream, I skimmed the fat off once it was clear. And this is what we're left with now. I usually try to cook it down to where I would get around 2 liters worth of stock. But like, look at the color of the broth from a duck compared to a chicken. And then all you really are looking for as well is that all of your collagen and cartilage and everything like that has been cooked out. Didn't want that to splash when it fell in. So yeah, I'll let this all fall into the strainer so you can see that it turns into like nothing, right? It just turns into this mushy mess. But that's also how you know you got all of the nutrients out. You can like even just give it a little press. And so when people have the gelatinous stock, like look at this. The bones just crumble in my hands. So if you don't cook a stock long enough, you're not actually gonna get everything good out of it. Let's put this back over there. Yeah, you weren't here for our duck butchery stream bonk, but it was a fun one. Really good VOD, I would say, also to watch back over. So now we'll just pour that into liter containers, and then usually I just pop it in the fridge for a day before I put it in the freezer. And I didn't add any aromatics to it either. I usually just keep my duck broth plain, because like I said, we often make ramen from it, so we could always add the flavorings at a later time. This way we have the most amount of options. I'm worried about pouring this because sometimes, you know, when you pour out of a pot, it runs down the side and down the bottom everywhere. So I'm just gonna do this over the sink. It's not a good looking color. It's like gray. But I bet you it tastes phenomenal. You guys are like, why is it gray, Kate? Well, think about the color of the duck meat itself, right? It's dark. So then having that dark meat around the bones is gonna make the broth darker. And then if you think about how dark a beef broth can get, because everything is brown and red meat, well, it's even darker than that. But that looks insane. It doesn't even look good. Looks like swamp water. I need to try it though. It could be the tastiest swamp water around. Yes, yeah, if you want to learn a lot about how to make good broths and stocks, watch Japanese videos. It is good. Just tastes so clean. And then the duck fat just leaves that layer on your palate. That's gonna be delicious. Okay, it's still a little bit warm, so I'm not gonna put the lids on just yet. Okay, what do we got? 30 seconds on our casserole timer. She's sizzling. I'm gonna pop it up to the top rack in the oven now, just so we can maybe get the cheese sizzling up a bit more. Yeah, better send you some to test it, hey Scoots? It's almost done. Okay, we need a plate. I will reset just another 5 minutes. And it's smelling good too. I guess we don't need a plate for this. You can just use a bowl. But we will need a bowl as well for the crisp. What do you guys often call it? Do you call it crisp or crumble? Okay, we'll do matching bowls today. We'll do both black. Mish calls it a rumble. A crumble, actually, though. Either or, though, right? Even when I find I'm making it, sometimes I call it crisp, sometimes I call it a crumble. But they're both the same. Paloozer's throwing cobbler in there. That wasn't an option. You crazy wazies. Yeah, I suppose I'll need a trivet. Let's use the orange one to match the pan. for when this comes out. I'm really excited for this, I will say. I'm gonna go put the can opener away while we're waiting. And grab a spoon. A spoon for serving. Mish, you're having feta tomorrow? What are you making? Cobbler is different though. It is true. I haven't... Have I ever made a cobbler? I actually can't recall. But isn't a cobbler you put biscuits on top and bake it? Or something similar to that? Hi, Mitty Moonstorm. Happy Saturday to you too. Oven roasted chicken thighs with veggies and potatoes with feta baked with it all. Yum. Like a one-pan dinner. You're slipping. At least it's not me. Kimmer's the cobbler is like a crisp, but instead of the oats, you put biscuits. That's what I thought. I've always wanted to have a homemade peach cobbler in the south of America. That's a dream. Sitting under a pecan tree? Like what? Yeah, that's the rule, Mish. You have to leave stream if you ever slip too much. Careful now. Oh my goodness. Wait, we had one more task to do while we were waiting. Can we do it in a minute and a half? I think so. We have to soak the black beans. I'm so happy I looked at the list. Because we're putting black beans on our nachos tomorrow. And I bought this entire bag of black beans for the price that I could buy one can. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. I have to go find new friends now. See ya. Yeah, you go to a new stream and Bonk is there still. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't even know how much black beans I want to soak. Not a ton. Let's pour a cup into a liter container. Or we'll do this other one. And we'll fill it up with water. And then tomorrow they're getting pressure cooked. It's smelling good. I think that casserole's almost done. Hello, Ice Pulse. Welcome in. How are you today? That's more than enough. That's more than we could ever need. So now we're gonna cover that in cold water. And we do this to prepare our beans for cooking the next day. As soon as we get this soaked, it's casserole time. Scaramouche, feta, cheese, spinach pie. That is also good. A version of Hispanic pita. Done. Put the lid on, and we just leave that out at room temperature. It doesn't have to go in the fridge. Come over here. Oh my god, it looks so perfect. It's so perfect. Ah! I'm so excited right now. This is what it should look like. Wait, I went too far forward. That's what it should be. The chippies got like crisped up, same with the cheese. And it's bubbling around the edges. Turn off the oven. What we are gonna do though, to thank our own selves, we're gonna put this to warm back up just while we're plating. The oven's off, so it's not gonna keep baking. It needs more cheese. Mish, please. Have you even ever had tuna noodle casserole in Denmark? Bonk, don't agree with her. Okay, I need my phone for a photo. This one's definitely a photo. It isn't a Danish thing, but now that you've seen it, what do you think? Could it be a Danish thing? Get out of the way, spoons. This is such a cool photo, actually, here. Great view. Not enough balls in this dish for it to be Danish. Dusty, good to see you. Thank you. Hope you're having a good day. You have more types of cheese in your fridge? Well, whatever, Scoots. We're all on different journeys in life, okay? How much more cheese do we need to put? I'm trying to move this, but not burn my hand at the same time. Because cast iron pans are really hot when they come out of the oven, if you didn't know. If you're not on the cheese journey, what is your life? That's very true. What's the most amount of cheeses you've ever had in your house? I think like probably the maximum I've ever had. Maybe 8? I'm just trying to like section off this here. Also see what we're working with. Look, there's no weird juices. Everything is cooked together. Just trying to chop through the cheese and the chips. So we can get a good scoop, right? Because you want to keep that garnish on top. We might have to lift this up. So this is what you do when you go to eat the tuna casserole too. You just take off the whole top layer and you put that to the side for later. It's like a web. It's like a spider's web of cheese and chips. You could always put more cheese, for sure. Okay, let's leave that like that because I think it looks really good right now. I'll get one more photo of it all together. A tuna casserole. Love it, Paloozer. Oof, we got the steam in the photo and everything. Beautiful. So this is it. Do we need to be crazy right now? Happy! Thank you for the 200 bitlies, my friend. Hope you're okay. Just the topping itself tasted exactly like what I remember. Am I probably gonna burn my face? Because look at how hot this is. Let's just like hold that there for a couple moments to cool off. Nothing worse than burning your mouth. It's really painful too. You're making this. I love that, Kimmers, that you're making this next weekend. But you've had both of the dishes before, right? Okay, we're going in. It tastes exactly like I remember. It's almost hilarious. How to feel like a kid again. What? You never realize how much you need tuna casserole in your life until you make it. Wayne, do you want some?
What?
Do you want some tuna casserole?
Oh, I'm okay, thank you.
He declined very politely. The pasta's good. It's not soggy. Right? This is gluten-free and you would never know. I'm so happy. Yep. That turned out. That's gonna be so good reheated for lunches through the week. I will say I served myself a pretty small portion, but I think it's quite filling with all the pasta and everything together. That hidden mushroom soup. Well, some of the foods are nice to relive from childhood, though. I never said all the other weird parts. The celery being put in there raw has a nice little crunch that I like. And the pop of the peas, I'm glad we didn't blanch them. They stayed nice and green. It'll probably last after the weekend, yeah. I would say so, like tomorrow's already Sunday, right? The other thing I want to say, I don't find it's too dry as I'm eating it, but it's also not too like wet and soggy and weird. Yeah, eating it all together with the chips on top. Also, we did add that extra can of tuna, and I think that was a really good idea. Because I feel that it would be lacking if we didn't do that. And nor would it be as filling, right? Tuna's not that expensive, just put another can. Also, by the time it's all mixed together, it doesn't even taste that fishy. So like if you had kids that didn't like tuna, you could almost sell this as chicken. Because it really doesn't taste fishy. Something to think about. Okay, let's get into our crisp. This pan is still probably really hot. Chicken of the sea. I'll never forget the... Do you remember that MTV show with Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey? There was one episode where she has a can of tuna, Jessica Simpson. And she's like, because it says chicken of the sea on it, right? And she's like, well, I don't get it though. Is it chicken or is it fish? Why? I'll just never forget it. You remember that, right, Bonk? Iconic. I'm glad I'm not the only one that remembers the weirdest stuff like that. Okay, use our towel because the crisp is warmed now. That was perfect then, Paloozer. I walked right into it. Okay, so we were saying how some of the crisp melted into the berries. That could just be because it was gluten-free, right? It doesn't have that same structure. But I think it still looks really delicious with all these crispy bits peeking out of the top. Yeah, she had to reinforce the blonde jokes. Every time. Our cream. We made this. We mixed 2/3 ratio vanilla yogurt to 1/3 sour cream, and then just mixed in a bunch of orange zest to top the crisp with. We're all watching it, and I find that actually pretty cool. Because we are all, like, very different ages, right? Well, maybe some of you are closer in age, but yeah, like, we're all different ages, different areas, but we all watch that same show. You always think of Daisy Duke first? Yeah. Because that's totally how she dressed, right? Okay, this definitely looks like soft and jammy. It's sticking to my spoon already. So when you're serving crisp, it's probably gonna be a bit messy. This looks thick. Look at that. I need a smaller bowl, guys. I'm not even gonna be able to fill this up. I think I'd rather have a crisp more thick like this than soupy. What do you guys feel? That's gonna be enough of a portion for me. It said the recipe made around 4, and I would say that's accurate. Jammy is perfect. That's what I try to go with, right? And you can either just dollop this on top, or I was thinking of just kind of serving it on the side so that you don't have to have it with every bite. Where's the spoon I had here? Gonna pop that in there and take a little photo of that as well. There's somewhat of a fizz with the mic when I'm moving. Still? I know it used to be really bad when we used the inductions to cook with before, but I'm not using any induction anymore. So what could that be from? Just static interference? That's so weird. Very, very weird, honestly. Is there a specific area that I'm always in when it does it? Ugh, thanks, Scaramouche. It's just my magnetic personality, you know? A weird reverb thing that happens. When your volume into the mic gets loud, it seems to happen. Okay. It's in the mixing board. Could it just be the limiter? Cookie! Thank you very much for the 1,661 bits, setting us over to 82% of the way to our solar goal. And Scaramouche, unevening it up. Thank you very much for your services. Annie would be very upset at you. 3 bitlies. Oh, nice! And you even got a new emote cookie. Which one is it? The pineapple? Okay, so I turned down the volume on my mic. Let's see if that makes a difference. This actually looks really good of a bite though. Look how the cream just kind of coated everything. It'll kind of cool it off too. You like having that contrast of something hot and then something cold to eat with it. Cookie! You shaved it off? Probably feels so good though. That's what an In-N-Out burger is for you? Because what you're saying, the the warm meats versus all the cold condiments. This is yummy. I've not ever had a crisp with berries and a lot of citrus flavor. This is so good together though. I don't love the gluten-free topping. Like next time I'll probably just add that little bit of flour so it's more crispy. Because yeah, I find that the crisp topping that we mixed up just kind of melts into everything and you don't get as much texture as you should. But you never know until you try something once, so now we know for next time. Hot meat and cheese paired with ice cold lettuce and tomato. No onions, right? Now you don't have to wash your face every time you eat. Or you put the onions. Hey, some people don't like onions on their burgers. Right, you got the options. Yeah, raw or grilled. I would say often I don't get the onion, but every now and then, you're just craving that little bit of onion flavor, right? Okay, here it is, guys. The completion of the stream. 2 casseroles, I would say. They both turned out good. I'm like still chewing on all the seeds from the blackberries in there. Good antioxidants in this dessert too. I would say it's a pretty healthy one with the ingredients we used. And then yeah, this one is so cheap and very easy to make, the tuna casserole. So if you've never had it before, try it out. You could also switch out the tuna for chicken. I know they make canned chicken still, right? I guess you could use that if you wanted. We're on a casserole, Paloozer says. Yeah, it's true, Bonk. Yeah, the raw onion on the cheese layer. I don't like when it's on the bottom of the bun. It's true. Okay, so tomorrow we are, I mean, I guess kind of celebrating Super Bowl. We are making Super Bowl inspired foods, let's say. Making some of my favorite bar food, which is nachos. We're gonna load them up, make guac, make some pico de gallo together. Just have a nice easy Sunday. And we should be done nice and early so that you guys can all go watch the game if that's what you are planning to do. Just looking on Twitch to see if we're gonna go raid anyone. Yeah, I'll finish before 3:30 Pacific, exactly. So that's just perfect, honestly. I'm still looking. This is a new streamer who I don't know. Saturday baking stream featuring Rebecca. Her name is Cara Comparetto. Should we go see a new streamer? I'm intrigued. I think it's gonna happen. You're gonna make it too. I love that I could inspire you guys to make something delicious for yourselves. Oh, she plays the piano, Cookie. Okay. Because yeah, I was assuming maybe she's not always a food streamer because I've never seen him before. I want to make sure I write this properly. Thank you very much for doing that as well, Michael. Okay, we got it. We got it. A wonderful day, I would say. It's only 2:30. I didn't even look at the time. It's only 2:30. We crushed that today. That's how easy a casserole is to make. You can make 2. All right, friends. I hope the rest of your Saturday goes awesome. I think I'm gonna head out, go for a walk right now outside while it's nice out. And we will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific as always. Like I said, we are creating some Super Bowl inspired foods for game day. And it's gonna be loaded nachos with all the fixins. Honestly, one of my favorites. So hope to see you then. If not, I will catch you next week on Friday. Other than that, thanks for all the long-term resubs today. Shout out to Player Hater for the $5 donation as well. All of the Bitleys. And I don't even think we got a new follow. That's all I got. I'm trying to get to 7,000. Did we get there? Let me check really quick before we end. Let me check really quick before we end. No, we lost 2. Okay, I'm gonna hit that button. Let's go see what they're baking today. Bye!